What is going on, Chatbot Builders? Ryan Baggott here with Chatbot Builder AI, and today I'm back from the Matrix again. You thought I was gonna get sucked back in forever, but I'm back, baby. And I've got a very special guest, one of CBB Nation's best. We don't see enough of her, but she's just a rock star, and she brought me back from the Matrix back into reality. And so, without further hesitation, let's put our hands together in a celebration. What is going on, Miss Noelle? How's it going?
What's up? Good to see you. This is so cool. And when I watch these things, I swear I thought that was an animated glasses that you had. I just saw you take them off. I'm like, oh, I know the magic now.
It's real, and the prompt change real. It's all
Oh, for real.
real.
I wasn't going to say nothing yet, but
And
yes.
and you know your proof, CBB Nation, is so real from all across the world. How's it going? Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Super excited to be here. Great to see everybody in the chat. What's up, my friends? Can't also
Yes.
believe it. This is a really a special moment for me.
What we got to shout out the nation. What's going on, Charles and Mac? He's been a guest before. We got to have Miss Kim on. She runs mini sessions of educational hours and hours of education in Discord. She's awesome. And thank you, Asta, for setting this up. You're the man.
Yes, thank you, Asda, working the game for us. Thank
We
you for
couldn't do it
all the
without
help.
Asta.
No, we could not.
What's up, Blaine? Anthropic Blaine's in the hizzy, and we got Miss Denise. Look at all these people. Look, man, so many people are here, and I'm so grateful for all of you guys popping in here.
What's up, Mario?
What's
Mauricio?
going on? We're gonna have
Mauricio and
all the
Mary's
fun.
here. What? Good
Look at
look.
your fan
Oh,
club, man.
my
You really
fans are
do.
here, right? You're right. That's right. Andrea here.
You're
What's up,
deep.
Misty?
You're deep, man. This is so awesome, man. We
Hi,
got
Mimi.
the
Hello, my friends. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love that y'all are here. Thank you. It's gonna be a fun chat. Definitely let us know if you want to hear something or have us go deeper. You just tell us, and we'll
wow.
turn it around for you.
Look at this. We've got Ann. We've got Mir. All the people, man. We've got really all
So
the fun
cool.
people.
Kathy
President Bush in the house. What's going on, Mr. Bush?
and hi, Wendy. Wendy was the first person to reach out from CBB back in the day to let me know, like, y'all saw me.
Wendy, she's blowing up all over the place. She's with universities and TV, doing all sorts of stuff. The vice president's putting in some work. Dimitri, what's going on? Everybody, oh man, look at you guys got a real deal, the fan club everywhere. Hi,
So
Noelle. Everybody loves you. That's so awesome.
mine's in the house. What y'all get? Oh, everyone came out tonight. That's awesome.
Everyone did. And so I'm gonna give the floor to you and just tell the people that don't know you. It seems like more than a half the CBB Nation in the chat knows you. For those that don't know you, who are you? Where are you from? And how are you a part of this crazy AI game we've got going on here?
Oh my gosh, super fun. Yeah, so nice to meet you all. For those of you I don't know, I'm super glad this is the beginning of a very long friendship together. So
Yes.
so excited to meet you all. Yeah, my journey actually started in the world of AI. It started about 10 years ago. Many of you all know this story, but I was working as a cloud architect actually at AWS, Amazon, and I got I got an email from Jeff Bezos, and he wanted to start this brand new project called the Star Trek computer. And I was like, that sounds awesome. Number one, because I was raised on the golden age of science fiction, so I'm very astute in my Arthur C. Clarke and my Bradbury and Asimov references. However, I then found out it wasn't actually Jeff Bezos who sent me this email. It was like some recruiting team, but still,
I was good. My mouth was like, you just casually dropped.
Yeah, I felt like he was speaking to me, right? I felt like it.
Jeff just hit me up, just casually emailed me.
Yeah,
I'm like, who am I
yeah,
speaking with again? Sorry about that.
Yeah, so no, not exactly. But then I ended up, of course, saying yes to that opportunity. I was an early member of Amazon Alexa. I built over 100 apps for Alexa in its first year. I ended up getting about 2 million users in the first couple of years. My apps are some of the most popular, 25,000 positive reviews, like 4.5 or higher reviews on the App Store or skill stores, we like to call it, which those days are ending. But I've been very close to that. But then I went, because I thought Alexa and voice was everything. And then I met the team at Microsoft. So they hired me to come take baby models and turn them into big models in what today is known as Azure AI. But back then it was called cognitive services. And it was literally like what CBB Nation does for a living, like applied models all day long. And it was like vegetables to kids back then, though. Like, I was
totally.
This is good. And I could, but that's how my journey started. So I ended up, really learning. And this was, again, 10 years ago, then 5 years ago.
That's what I was going to say. This is not yesterday. This is not when ChatGPT came out. This is when you said bot, people are like, what kind of virus are you talking about? Are you a hacker? Yeah. Like, what do you mean? That's super OG, man. I love to hear that. So when you were in voice, roughly what year was that? Because it sounds like 2014, guys. 2014. This is beyond nerd. No offense.
I know.
This is before the messenger bots did not even hit the scene until like 2016, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
And so you're here playing
Google Assistant didn't even exist when I started. And then Google Assistant hit the market, and then Samsung tried to play. And then we realized, we could actually not have Alexa and just do voice and chat conversationally everywhere. And that's when chatbots kind of took off.
That's amazing. So you're like this super official OG, man. Like I've not met many people, period, that have been in the game since pre-messenger bots. Like that's generally a place where people begin in at least conversational design or conversational bots. That's so cool. To me, that speaks to being, and maybe you can attest this since you lived in those eras, which are almost gone now because we've gravitated to the new AI per se, being ahead of your time. Do you think that's like where you were back in 2014, guys? I was just getting gangster at Facebook ads in 2014. Yeah. I was not having my eyes anywhere on real AI at all, not machine learning, nothing like that. And I felt like I was ahead of my time. Still, I feel like we are.
Yes. You say things that I have been saying for a long time, where you're like, if you just do this one thing, if you just do this, you will be in the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. You say it to CBP Nation all the time. Like, yep. And I don't think people truly appreciate like how even 10 years later, how early we all are in our application. So yeah, I feel like we're a bit kindred in that way, because we're fighting the good fight to get people to realize this is the best opportunity we will ever see to 100%. Get ahead of this game. And yeah,
you just said it so perfectly, man. Like it takes me about an hour and a half to say what you just said in 2-3 sentences there. But I think that we can say with pretty good certainty at this point, when you look at where ChatGPT is versus a Claude versus a Gemini versus a Grok versus a DeepSeek, it being first and doing it early matters. Because at this point, if they'd all come out at the same time, at the same day, at the same level where they are today, and they just popped in, like, I don't know how many people would still choose ChatGPT over the other guys. Right. If it's a blindfolded test, I just don't see it being so, I got to go with that one. I just don't see it.
No, that's the value of market, right? Like Alexa, again, it was broken more than it worked, but because it was the first tech you could talk to, people were like, and that it worked better than Siri at the time. Everyone's like, this is it. This
exactly.
Is awesome. Then Google Assistant came out, and they were better at that search game than Alexa was. But so many people had already jumped on that device ship that we had it. I don't know if you saw, but Alexa's actually launching their Alexa Plus, which is Anthropic powered, coming out here pretty soon. So it'll be exciting next couple months.
To me, it's going to be just the case of what I've been saying over and over. And I think that you're proof of that with your success, your continued success, and it's just going to only increase. We're sitting at a grand buffet of LLMs and AI at our disposal. And it is time to choose where you want to pig out. Is basically, we're the winners here. I would not want to be, as fun as it might be in certain places, I wouldn't want to be in the LLM game, because it's just such a tough game to win. I think that we're on the right side of things. Yes. Where we're going to benefit no matter what happens, even no matter if Grok is the winner or ChatGPT is the winner, we're still eating dinner. You know what I'm saying? Right. And we're good to go. And I think
building is such, like, we're literally, I call us kind of the unicorn skills, right? We sit right
I like
in the middle, right? Between businesses and companies that are trying to get value out of this technology and knowing enough of the technology to implement. There are very few people who do that work, because of course it's hard, but it's also extremely gratifying when you build something that a company actually uses, and then one of my favorite things that you taught people is how to use AI to generate leads for businesses, especially like small, medium-sized businesses. There are 20, I think, at least 20 million small businesses in the United States. None of them know
just the United States too. 20 million.
None of them know how to, and we get new ones every day. I mean, everyone knows someone who's starting a business today. None of them know how to generate leads. And you walk in there and this is what I love about this technology is that I'm now so confident in my ability to deliver a good system. And I use the 5 P's of prompt engineering. All my people out there that know the 5 P's, this is, the man. They know. I give you full props.
You're awesome.
But like, it's like, it works, right? Like, if you just do that, it's the most simplest thing, but it hardens your system to a point where if you demo that to someone, and then what I do is I actually say, don't pay me now. I will take a percentage of your revenue that you get from these.
Boom. Then they're gonna be all right. How much was your rate again? Because you're gonna make way more.
Yeah, they're like,
some will figure that out.
The fixed rate.
Exactly. I can tell you right now, if I ever did that method, if I ever did with some of my clients I've had them, I would be balling out of control right now. I would be the tech bro in the Lambo or two. But for me in my area, it's just not. I just didn't go that route. And to everyone, you have your own routes and paths that you can go. And I love the path that you've gone down and are going down. And I think that's the one that's going to win in long term. And we're going to get all these great short term wins in the meantime. I'll give you an example to hit on the point that you just did. For those that are tuning in that are like, what are these people talking about? Leads and AI and social media. Legit, it was today's Thursday. It was yesterday, I guess. No joke. And I can't say the name of the client, I guess. We don't deal with direct clients really much anymore, but we have a couple still. And I got a text message from one of the sales reps. And this guy, the company sells machines, not like robot cool machines like that. Like they're industrial machines, put it that way. Like think of a tractor, or like bulldozer type machine. I didn't know how much these things cost. Okay, whenever I got this deal, 4 or 5 years ago, 5 years ago at this point, or maybe 3, 4, whatever, I didn't know what these things cost. These things are like $250,000 to $450,000 for one of these big machines, and then there's other smaller accessories, if you will, from ranging like $20,000 to $80,000 for this manufacturer. Through what she just said, a simple, basic client. Yes, this was the best client. The funny thing is that I didn't know anything about this sort of industry. I didn't want to even pitch them, but I just did out of courtesy almost. And I'm so glad that I did, because it turned out to be the best, contract we ever got to this day. But the fact that I was able to say, okay, watch, you've got a Facebook page. A lot of agencies could come and pitch you how to run your Facebook and Instagram. But what I'm going to do, and this is back with pre-chat GPT, what I'm going to do is I'm going to install my AI, which is going to take your comments and convert them into customers. Comment customer. It just clicked so well.
So good.
And so what happened, to have this video of this sales guy, we ran an ad. I'll drop the ad spend less than $200, guys. This is like no money, right? And the ad's running maybe 8-9 days. Boom. The $285,000 machine sold from a comment, son. That comment happened. The AI received the comment, took the lead information, alerted the sales guy. He's got the lead for this, several $100,000 machine, makes the sale same weekend, or same week. Right. That is how you do it. I mean, that's just one example, but you just hit on that. That's just bringing it to life. Yes. And I'm going to shut up for now, because I'm such a big talker.
100%. It's 100% the game. Like, and what I will share with some of, as a matter of fact, Mauricio is here in the comments. I think it says like MAI. Anyway, he comes from Caterpillar, so he 100% agree, like knows that. Like, I cannot believe how big each client is, and you just get someone 5 or 6 leads, but that's not what happens when you do this. You turn it on. As a matter of fact, I have a client right now who doesn't want me to even turn on the thing because they're worried about. You remember those Groupon days?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Your business. So it's real. But I just don't think, sometimes I feel like we don't really, Afua, what's up? I don't feel like we really understand like how big of an impact we can make. And most people, when I talk to them, they don't think that this skill that they have, that they're not very confident in it. And what I love about one of the things that I use in every single sale that I do is the bot simulator. So don't ever get rid of it.
Oh, you're going to see some major improvements on the bot simulator very soon.
It is like my favorite thing. It's literally when I uncovered that you had it, I used to have one that I built for myself at Microsoft. And I would basically just do exactly what this bot simulator does. But it is so compelling to show someone what it looks like. And then
that's all it takes. That's what
I
it
could
takes.
do the 5 Ps all by myself with just their data on their website. Like it's so good.
But I did want to share the things you just mentioned are already like done upgrades, by the way. Like they're done in an agent builder, which I'll show you guys some of the new CBB stuff coming soon. It's very awesome. But 2 of the things you mentioned, boom, they're already done.
Nice. I can't wait. So last year I did an in-studio bot builder workshop so I could record it all and get it out the door and have it run on autopilot so I could train as many people using this tool as possible. And then I wake up and of course, everything is now all agentic, which is awesome. And I don't know, super surprise for some of you. I actually got listed by some organization on Monday as the #1 global thought leader on Agentic AI.
Wow, dude. CBB Nation, son. That's what I'm talking about. Congratulations.
Right.
That is amazing, man.
It was really cool and I'll tell you the reason that happened twofold. #1, I build and build and build. So the reason I became who I was at Amazon Alexa was because I built 100 apps. No one else was building 100 apps. It is literally a game of scale. So all you have to do is, and this is what I like, we built our bot builder. We ask everyone who attends, we ask them to look into their own community, dentists, chiropractors, it doesn't, pizza place. I always use my local pizza place, but no matter where you are, look into your community and can you find a company that, geez, could use a bot? And then even if you never show it to them, but about 25% of my students actually take the bot they build and they just go, like you had said about this, this machine builder, they just go and show it. And then all of a sudden they're like, wait, they want to pay me. Wait, how do I charge for this? It's just extremely compelling, but it starts first by building. People I don't think realize, your confidence comes by just sheer development of ideas. And there's no lack of them. And if you can't think of something, just, GPT that thing.
You bring a great point. For me, it was restaurants is what I really knew. What I was my focus, where I met my wife in college, was in hospitality school at USC. And so we learned all about the fun stuff of resort life, and we live here on Hilton Head. So it's kind of like the beach college, I guess, or the beach university. And so for me, I knew the problems to solve in hospitality specifically. And on the restaurant side, which that was a bigger, I guess I was a higher up position at that point in my young career. The big thing that I understood, because I built it along with the development team that we hired, was our loyalty app. And it took 3 to 4 months to really build this thing out. And this is a massive project. This is a restaurant company here that I guess had maybe 15 or 16 different restaurants. But after this thing was done, this is the big secret. I saw within 10, 11 days, tracked over $100,000. And I was like, oh my God. And then I'll tell you, I realized the skill that I'd learned to be able to create something of that value and to see a notification or an email or a text, whatever, generate instant money. It just stuck. And I was like, oh my God. And I understood that problem very well, how to solve it in that case of a loyalty piece. Then when I learned ads through the e-commerce company I worked with, that was the missing piece of GPT. And so the ChatGPT thing, the real AI has just made everything that we were already doing, in my opinion, just that much easier and more powerful. Is that the way that you see it now? Or is it just another additional tool? Or is it just you spread it out everywhere?
Well, I mean, the philosophy spreads everywhere, right? So now, I mean, I am really I'm excited at the idea of building, of course, single services. But now once you build 100 of these things, it's like baselines in music. You start to see where things come together and you can pull multiple of these bots and bring them together and orchestrate them. And I mean, many of us who, if you've been building for a while, you've already seen these patterns. You've already even tried through Zapier to connect these things together. You've been doing Agentic for quite some time. Now
Exactly.
they've
I love
named it.
that. Yes.
Now it's popular, but like this is not a new, it's an evolution, not a revolution. That's why I always tell people.
That's really good. That's really good. I like that. It's a yeah. I'm too South Carolina to say that, but I like that rolled really nicely there, and I agree with everything. I'll tell you, I think that we have been building agentic style systems before this term ever existed, and it just when it hit me with OpenAI's GitHub definition of what an agent was, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute here. So you're telling me just by adding in the prompt, now you're agentic. I get it now, you know, and like it makes
or actions like, oh wait, an action is an agent. Oh wait, we do that all day long.
it makes a lot of sense. And you know, I've been in the Matrix for near all month, and that's one of the fun things that I think you guys are gonna like is the agentic node. It's gonna be a whole different way to have your agents work with each other, but I think it's going to be something that makes everything more interesting and more fun, and you can build your own reasoning. I think this is the big, you know, the big shift, which to us, like, I don't know how even exciting it really is because we've been prompt chaining before reasoning was a term. You know, that is, for those that don't know, prompt chaining or chain of thought, that is what reasoning is. We all thought it, you know, whenever we were like, it's got to be what it is, right? And now they're just like happy to say this is train of thought reason. It's just prompt chaining. Pretty much, is that right?
Oh, 100%. And that I mean, the difference, of course, is now like they're even talking now about a promptless world. But the reality is that the benefit of having a model show you their chain of thought is that you can be like, wait, no, that's not right. Where before, what we'd have to force that and then ask questions that we'd get answers and we'd have to interpret, is that right or wrong? So at least we have a bit of a shortcut now, but it literally is just exposing the thing that and it's better. We are much more trustworthy prompt engineers if we knew how to do it before the model did it on our behalf. Because
exactly,
I don't know if you know that the number one like danger is over reliance on this technology, that you will start believing the nonsense that it starts telling you because it seems so believable. But
it's so true. You nailed it. And I don't know how that is going to, like, so in the general use, and I guess you're talking AGI here, and essentially, in general use, you're so right, and I don't know how they're going to solve it because even when I'm looking at our own, what is our, you know, what do you call? I guess what do you call it? AI search optimization. When I'm searching, what are our prices? What are the reviews saying?
Engine optimization. Like there's all sorts of people are trying to coin their own terms. You should coin one right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's what this is the Wild West. This reminds me exactly of when social media first hit the scene. Is like the social media manager was not a real word. Right. This was not a real job. You know, this is what everyone told me.
Like someone just made that up.
Exactly. You know, and so we're here there. Like I think you can make up a lot of things as long as you can back them up in the scientific method type way. But I digress. I think that again, everything is just to our benefit right now. So all the success that you knew was coming to you way back 10 years ago, 2014, when you were working with Alexa, the coolest AI technology back then, and it was voice is still so early. And I just saw a comment we're gonna have to get to. I'll have to find it. I think now is the time where we're gonna see things pay off, and it's great that the other OGs out there, the big time OGs. Some have been salty about this LLM stuff because they feel that their prior knowledge and expertise
ugly for real.
That's ooh, I love that one. That's got to be like the we gotta have a social. Asta, write this down. That's got to be the social post next week. They said they got an ugly baby.
Because they, you know, like, and I know this, especially at Amazon Alexa, right? Like, we spent years building something that literally, they decided to completely dismiss and go with Anthropic, a model that was built after we built what we built. Like they completely dismissed, they're calling it Alexa Plus, but like it is a new model that wasn't even built by the people that built the original model. So all those people are, of course, they're going to be mad. They're like, well, what does that
all
mean
that work.
about everything that I've done? Even my skills, like I'd imagine they stopped paying developers for skills on the platform a couple years ago, which I was a little sad about. But
I totally wanted Tap the Table to be an Alexa skill to just order that way, like what they're all talking about now is like order autonomously. Like that was totally my thing.
Yes, and like payments via Alexa, like all. Here, actually, I will tell you, one of my biggest frustrations with being an early developer was that the technology could do anything, just like what we do now. Like you can do anything. You can connect it to any software. And the epitome, the peak, the pinnacle of what people would build is like banana fax skills or
yeah, I don't understand that either.
It's kind of like meeting summarization right now. Like, oh my gosh, I can summarize my meetings. I'm like,
in 2023, that was bananas that you could do that. Now it's built, and I knew that was going to be a thing that would be built in, and so that we don't compete on like internal business communication, because there's just going to be probably better big dog solution. Exactly. You know what? Let me ask you this. I've not asked you a single question from my list over here.
Okay, let's take a look. Someone, I do want to give you some love though, because you said this. Someone got on here and went, "Wait, we started on time."
Yeah, that was Robert. I saw that. You know, let's see if I can find. I want to find. We got all the fun comments here.
Yeah.
Here's the one. I found it.
Thank you.
So serious work question. This is a great one. And shout out Anne. A lot of clients, so she's saying a lot of clients hate the voice bot. As soon as they hear AI voice, they're yelling agent, human operator. God, I hate these things. How do we win their trust? So do you want to take this away? Actually, I'd love to hear your thought on this.
All right. Well,
this is right up your alley.
That one of the reasons that happens, the way that I avoided it first was that I actually don't build consumer-facing voice bots first. I build them internally first. I call it helping the helper. Mm-hmm. So the first thing I do is make the humans better at their job. And I did this inside of contact centers, huge contact centers in healthcare and in finance, where they struggle with retention. So that's the first thing is that who is my customer? Maybe IVR was a mistake, right? Like maybe I don't need that. But let's just say the next thing, I'll give you an example at Lufthansa. They decided to create a voice that was a culmination of every employee's voice together. So it was this like very,
I love that kind of concept.
Cool voice. And so when they started the conversation, they told that story. And so rather than just being like, hey, I'm a bot, how can I help you? Like how many chatbots say, how can I help you? Only for you to then ask for help and it can't help you. Or you have this long-standing conversation and they can't save conversational state. So you get transferred to a human and you have to start over anyway. Like this is all the stuff that breaks. So instead, the kind of bots I like to build are contextual, right? Where when I get asked a question, I already know what they were looking at on their screen. So as soon as the focus shifts to the chatbot, I'm like, hey, I see you're looking at watches. Would you like some help with that? Do you have a picture? I like to integrate as many modalities as possible. Do not force people to talk to you. Like either let them talk with their voice, talk with their fingers, or talk with images. Send me a picture of what you're looking for. Like what, you know, like there's so many more things. And I guess this goes back to my previous point. Like we are so small-minded as developers when we build this. Like you can build anything,
right?
Like think huge. And if you can't think huge, ask ChatGPT to partner with you to think bigger, because it's so right now when we think chatbot or conversational agent or customer service agent, we literally think, how can I help you? Instead of going, wait, we already know how we can help them because there's data on the screen. There's data in their click trails. There's data in their company, their profile with us. Like we already know probably what they want. And that's how we build trust, is we actually show up anticipating their needs instead of being like a broken bot.
Anticipating the needs. You know, I'm going to bring it back to my background in hospitality. It was the coolest. I guess what made me interested in hospitality to begin with is in Savannah, where I live, where I grew up, the coolest place, or like the most ritzy, luxurious, rich boy place, I guess you could say, was the Westin across from the Savannah River. And the places look like you'd have to like be worth a certain amount to even like get on that little island. Yeah. That's the way it looked to me growing up. And when I was 17 years old, I had the opportunity to do like a groundhog work shadow day, and that's where I went. Ended up being the pool boy there, and I understood the whole idea of the Weston brand. And that probably is what led me to do the whole hospitality route to begin with, because it was just such a cool experience. And the surprise and delight element was something that we really had a lot of power as an employee, from like pool boy to what I was, as like a, here you go. They made the job for me back then, to the top level, executive. The whole like idea was every single guest you had like $495 or $49 to surprise and delight anytime that you saw a time that you could do that. And hardly any employee really did it. There would be a handful, and I was one of those people. So if I knew it was an anniversary or someone was coming for a wedding, like I knew that, oh, I could send them up one of the $300 charcuterie boards with wine or something. And that to me was so fun. And I think the surprise and delight element of being creative with AI, not just how can I help you, but like, let's play a gift game. This is the separation when you're interacting and making people smile and laugh and have an experience. This is a different thing. You nailed it on so many different levels.
Like just happens to like it knows anything about your experience, or just decides to show you a cute cat video. Or,
exactly.
Like it depends on the vibe of the bot and of the company, but we get to build that. We get to orchestrate it, like Flow, from Progressive. Like their whole AI system is like snarky, the way Flow is snarky. And people trust that because it ties, like it aligns with their brand message, it aligns with their brand voice. And that is work we get to do, like we have to do. And most companies don't know to even do that. They don't even know they can do it. And I think that's where we build a lot of trust with our consumers.
Just out of curiosity, just marketing-minded person, when you think of, and I'm not a big Twitter person, to be honest with you, I guess it's X now, but when you think of a Twitter brand, can you think of one that comes to mind that's got a very strong voice or like a known voice?
On Twitter?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, cool. Well, it was just totally out there. If any of you guys
failed the test.
No, there's no failed test. I'm just a weirdo. But the one that, if you have an idea of what I might be thinking of, I know there's only like a billion brands. Throw it in the chat.
Brand on
the one I'm thinking of is actually, because you said snarky, it's actually Wendy's. Wendy's on Twitter.
True. And Wendy, actually their AI service is also the same on like their Facebook Messenger bot.
I didn't even know they had one. That's so fun. I just know that they're in 2016, when I was working at a huge, like I guess the biggest marketing company in South Carolina at the time, Wendy's was like everyone wanted to have that brand voice for their brand. That it didn't even make sense for a lot of the brands, but that was the one that got all the buzz. I guess maybe I'm dating myself a little bit. I didn't even go on Twitter back then, but I just knew I knew the tweets, and they'd go viral, and it'd be like, they'd be having sass fights with the other brands, like take your McWhopper and, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That's just interesting. I think that sort of experience that you can bring is so cool. And before, you really had to think about every possibility, and then you had to think about a language thing if you were working with a bigger brand. And so these bots, I'll tell this story. The most expensive bot that I personally know of that was sold at any given time was a very poorly done messenger bot. And I remember the gallery that was supposed to be a gallery was actually just like boom, 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 like the images, and it was for a Sutter Home wine, actually $75,000 for that bot. And it was crap, but it was very difficult to build back then. It's still not easy to build today unless you know what you're really doing. And that element of new media and additional just beyond text, I think, is overlooked. I think I've always thought that agencies would be able to say, okay, related to content and social media, there's only 30 days, call it, in the calendar. You can't make additional days. So how can you charge a client, if this is what your agency is, more content in the month? Well, you can have the Messenger and Instagram experiences that require more copy, require more content. This requires more billing. Hello, agency owners out there that are already established. I'm telling you the game right now on how to establish new revenue. It's
that
there it is. You just invented it, and the value is there and it's trackable. That to me, what the winner here is, you know everything when you're building AI at this point and you're working with social media and websites and phone calls. When you're in charge of this business account, you know everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you can have the ability to, at least. That's probably my
I think
favorite
that's the
part.
key, though, right? Like you have the ability to, but I mean, even today, like most developers do not take the time. Most of them never use the variables that you give them in CBB. Right?
Facts is
I'll go
true.
into existing chatbots. I'm like, you could collect data and put it in here, right? You could hold conversational state. You could use that conversational state to say something later. And I will say that actually, Anne was talking about like lawyers, and I just did a huge workshop for lawyers just a week ago. And you're right. I mean, it's a different demographic, but here's where one of the things that I do love about our community here is that if you show versus tell, that is much more powerful. Like if they're calling on the phone and they're getting an IVR, like that's going to be hard. You can't undo that. Like that IVR system is a bad solution. And we built that on purpose. But what you can do is you can actually show them like, hey, if you go and you type this in and you watch, it's just like if any of us have done a ChatGPT demo for someone over the age of 75, like they're like, wait, what? What just happened? Like it is. But so I'm a big, like at AI Leadership Institute, what we believe in is being a doer, not a talker, learning by doing, right? Show versus telling. And that's why I love the bot simulator so much, because it allows you to show versus tell. Like you're not pulling up a PowerPoint deck. You literally present from a bot you built for that customer. It's very hard for them to say no when they know they need it, especially if you show them lead gen. As soon as I show them, they're like, wait, when do I get that? Especially if they're a local services business, like lawyers, chiropractors, dental, you tie that to Google service ad, like local service ads, like, I mean,
it's true. It is so true. I've always said a lot of things are intimidating to people, and until you do it. It's the same thing as riding a bike. Okay, you don't remember this, but like the first time you rode a bike, it was not. Even if you were a brave little kid, it's going to be scary. Okay, until you do, and then it's like you don't think about it. It's like walking, right? I think that it's a huge opportunity for the local services business to be the local Google man or Google woman with a side of AI, and flip it how you want to as far as percentages of what you want to be known as. But to be the local Google person is probably zero competition locally. And these bigger companies, what they're doing is they're doing business with these companies they find online, which some are great and some are crap. Okay, I can't tell you how many times I've met a local client from my years of doing marketing and figuring out you're spending $2,000-$3,000 on SEO. You've never even met these people. You've never talked to them. You just
and they have no metrics to measure success.
And it's a big scam. In a lot of cases, and in certain businesses, they've got so much money. They'll spend $5,000 plus a month, and that's a smaller budget in some cases of Google money, and that's so much money. I feel like it's hard to lose. It's hard to not get something from that, even if it's not being done wisely. But there's so many times I'm seeing Google accounts or analytics accounts that have not been signed into or touched in months, if not more. It's crazy. So if you have the hustle mentality, you should understand ChatGPT is that friend that you wish you had, that you could call and be like, yo, how do I learn this Google ad stuff? How do I make a Facebook ad, yo? Like, you've got the power now that like would have made life so much easier back in the day.
Especially the end to end, right? Like so many of us probably can figure out how to build like a piece of it, but like that end to end, like from ad copy to order page, thank you page copy, like how do you build? Because like I said, I watch a lot of these funnels get built, and I'm like, wow, great landing page. How are you going to get traffic to that? And they're like, oh, yeah, well,
I forgot about that.
Ad. Like I'm like, this is exactly like you said, the friend you never had, like you never knew you needed, that will give you even bad copy. And granted, I go to Claude for most of my headline copy, but bad copy is better than the copy I would have written on my own.
Totally. You know, I'll say this too. When I've ran, you know, I can't say how many millions of dollars of Facebook ads over the years, but it's been a lot. It's so funny that when you're working in ads, going back to the machine people, you know, when I'm making an ad set, it's so funny how I'll get served ads that are similar to that business, right? So
Yeah.
I'll have the just the most hysterical ads because these people are they're just trying something. And one
Yes.
of the ones I'll never forget, and it had like an unbelievable amount. The dude probably just had a lifetime budget turned on Facebook and didn't even know. It was just straight up business card, bro. Like a picture of his business card, the picture, right? And that was the ad. And it had like it. I look, cause I'm that nerd. I'll look at the ad transparency. I see it
Yep.
been running for a year, a couple of comments here and there, but like that's legit the definition of the worst possible ad. Yet because there's probably not a lot of competition in what the service
Exactly.
was, he was the one getting the eyeballs, and you're letting Facebook or Google or whoever be the ones to serve it to the right people, at least in the beginning, and let it, you know, take the wheel type
Yes.
deal, and it works.
Yes. And
It
here's the reality.
works.
You don't need that many clients, right? Like it's going to serve it to hundreds of thousands of people. You only need one
Exactly.
or two to say, hey, like,
To your
and
point,
it's never one or two. It's usually dozens. And so
so
I do
good.
like what Wendy said, though. It is a bit of, I mean, it's a skill. Like you do have to learn to sell, but that's true no matter what. Like you are either selling yourself as, I want to be hired by you to be, I want to be an employee of yours. I want to, you know, be your spouse. I want to be your dog owner. like we're constantly selling. And so a lot of us, I
You're
think,
so
especially the
right.
builders, we like distance ourselves from selling. We're like, I'm not them. I am not a seller. I'm a builder. I'm an engineer. I used to say this myself for years. And then
I
I
can't
realized,
see that. I can't see what made that pivot happen, because I'm sitting here thinking, man, what a freaking natural she is. It just so you got all the charisma, you got all this working in all the places. You're
yes.
just the
Oh
bomb,
my gosh.
man.
I will tell
But
you what happened.
what
I
happened?
ended
Like
up,
what caused the shift?
I was on an engineer. I was at Microsoft. I'm an engineer. I'm being brought into all these executive briefings, which is where I learned like that's who buys what I do. So that's the only people I like to talk to. But I'm doing all these executive briefings. I end up influencing over $1 billion in Microsoft AI sales in 2 years. $1 billion.
What?
I'm like, this is amazing. Over here, I have a little plaque that they gave me. I felt so special. Do you know that those account people, multiple of them, $1.2 million in commission, 1.5,
Where's
2.3.
your cut?
They walked away with commission that I never saw because I was on the other side of that line. And I was like,
Oh
that
man,
that next quarter, I was a seller. And
that's
I blew my
wild.
number too. I did 900% of my number my first quarter as a salesperson. And
You
then they
know,
changed my quota.
I
But I was
love
like,
that.
never again will I not be on the side that makes money. Why? Like, and you're a rock star if you do both. No one does both. Like I said, unicorn skills. If you can build and you can sell, the world
Yes,
cannot hold you back. The
and
door is open.
you nailed it. And I'll be the tough guy, maybe the jerk. I think that basically now there's no excuses. And
Yes.
you know, the only excuses that you have are ones that you make up yourself. And I just want to give you a big shout out. I mean, I know you got your own community, and that's amazing. I like aside, just business owner to business owner, content person to content person. Big ups to you for even just doing it, because so many people want to talk about it, but they'll give you critiques or whatever, and they got no videos. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
tell you the biggest trolls that I've ever gotten. I'll look at all of them. They're the ones that have legit zero videos, and I'm like, all right, bro, like you know what I'm saying. And
Yes.
so shout out to you, kudos to you, and I can't wait to see you have just like exponentially bigger success every time you
That
wake up.
is just
Like that's
starting, right? Like it's
exactly.
just starting. I mean, I feel like I've been feeding vegetables to kids for like the last 8 years, and now it's candy.
And
And I'm
now
like,
they want to
oh,
come to you. Exactly. It's going to keep on coming even more and more and more. I promise you.
yep, yep. So it's
People
really
are
exciting.
people are going like every announcement, and I'll touch on this too because someone hit me up early today or yesterday. All my days are mixed up. They don't make sense anymore. But they said something
The
and it
Matrix,
related
man,
to
it'll do that to you.
you know, exactly. They were saying something about Facebook and WhatsApp internal AI, and they're like freaking out. And I'm like, listen, if anything that they do is going to make our lives easier and better, and we're not going to have to explain as much. But when is the last time you've seen Facebook bring out any product that was a do-it-yourself kind of deal that really didn't require some additional, pumped up steroids. You know what I'm saying? In this case, like, that's what we are. We are the ones that make it go boom. So like where everyone has the access, you're always going to want to have the businesses are going to want to have the competitive edge. They're going to want to be able to win. Right. And so everyone else is doing something. You've got the ability to offer that, what you really need, the separation. And for me, it was always comment to customer. That was the easiest way to say, currently, you're missing out on all this. Here's all the comments of the last month that you guys had. You had 130 comments in 30 days of your posts, and you spent this much money on ads. None of those went to your messenger. None of those became customers that you know of. You could hope and pray, but you don't know. In my world, I like to know. And one thing that I always pointed out, I was like, listen, you're going to spend money and you'll have a big number that'll be your impression, and the one's smaller than that, but it'll be still giant as your reach. Then you're going to have a much smaller number. Those will be your clicks. Then you'll have the ones that were actually your real clicks. That's even smaller. That's the number I care about, because that number are going to be the people that are actually your customers. Don't get the big numbers, they're twisted. And you want to get those people in the inbox, in the money box. And you get them there, and your job, like, to me, at least in marketing, your job is like done at that point when you pass it off to the lead and you've sent the text message, yo, now Ryan's system made you more money today. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Man, this has been so much fun. It's
my gosh. And someone just yelled. So one of the things I have to tell you this, Ryan, because I may never get to tell you, but I have this concept, and it's actually a ChatGPT.
Everyone loves you.
That's on me.
Everyone loves you.
Good to see you. But Baby Tiger Nation.
That I love. Look at that.
That's so cool. Fun. But yeah, so Baby Tigers, in case you don't know, and this is how it was my take on what Chatbot Builder offered, right? Like, anyone can provide a tool. But when I got in, like, you provided a tool and a framework for building so that you built safes. And you never said this word. It was not how you didn't position it this way.
No, it's okay.
But all of us responsible AI people were like, this is our guy. And we used to all sit on Friday and we would just watch and comment with each other before you saw us.
That's so funny.
Like, Padmini is here, Yuvica's here. Like, we've been, anyway, we're huge fans. But this Baby Tiger, I literally, like, he's wearing the shirt. I don't know if you noticed. We're wearing.
Look at this. I'm about to cry on this thing, man. Y'all are too awesome.
Y'all are awesome. But this concept of Baby Tigers came because I work with these massive models for these big companies, like multi-million-dollar. I mean, literally, they're bots, but multi-million-dollar implementations. But at Microsoft, when I got there, I was in charge of taking kind of little AI models and turning them into big models. So when I started, they were getting, you can imagine, if you go into like CBB and you see the inbox, we were getting like 100 messages a month, like 100 inbox, like conversations a month. Today, those same models are getting 5 to 7 billion calls, like billion with a B, right? So you can imagine, like, who you are when you do, like, when you are a baby tiger. That's what I came to call us. When we started, there were baby tigers, and no one's asking in baby tiger mode. They're just like, this is so cute. I love it. Oh, no one's asking like, wow, razor sharp teeth. What are you going to eat? How much are you going to eat? Or big paws. Like, how big are you going to get? Where are you going to stay? What happens if I don't even want you anymore? Like, nobody asks those questions. But what I do is I take everything that is in this tool, and I basically say, but now you control, at multiple parts of the conversation, you control how big the baby tiger gets, what it eats, how well it eats, whether, is it eating vegetables or junk food? Is it? And I always tell people, kind of jokingly, baby tigers become big tigers and big tigers kill people. So let's not do that. Like, let's not build systems that hurt people, that are unfair, that accidentally do things because we weren't keeping the high watch. Like, our job when we build these systems is to make sure that they don't hurt anyone. And the only one who's going to make sure of that is us.
100%. That is the real definition of being in the Wild West. You know, it's fun as it is to be in this space. Like, the responsibility is massive. It's massive. And there are people that, if there are any in CBB, we don't know them. They're not active in our community at all because we've set a standard. And I like to be proud that we've got the highest quality of people on the planet, just somehow that have connected here. But as time goes on, and as it becomes more accessible and as more people want in, man, it really is truly scary of what people can do. And me, this past like 30 days of exploring what I've been exploring, there's already a lot of
Keep playing
tough
the single,
things
like,
going
tell
on.
me more, tell me more.
You know, there's so much going on that people are not aware of, and there are so many people in the business world that have not even experienced that Chat GPT moment yet. Today they dropped Chat GPT, what, 4.5. You
Yeah.
know, so we're still, just as you enter this whole deal, we're so far ahead still. But that doesn't mean it's time to be complacent, or that doesn't mean it's time to say, okay, well, I'm good now, I don't need to learn anymore. I think if you're not learning, you are losing. And I think that you're obvious proof of you're a lifelong learner and lifelong teacher and educator. And your charisma and your vibe is just, wow. It's got me hype. It's got me hype.
I tell you, this is how we roll. And you don't get to see all of us when you're doing these by yourself. Like, well, you must
Yeah.
imagine, like, we're all back there, like,
You're probably more like, what is right? Click the button. You forgot to click the thing. You didn't copy it.
Only once, man.
Yeah, well, only once every couple minutes. I know. Kim's the one that's like, she's you stupid. Click on the thing, and then she'll go teach people the right way tomorrow. I love it, man. You really are the definition of what what CBB Nation is, and I'm so happy that you spent some time with us. Thank you for adjusting your schedule, and shout out to your community. And did you have any final thoughts before we end this thing? I don't want to take up too much time.
I mean, I'm just honored to have been here. This is amazing. Don't forget, everybody, I'm actually launching a book April 1st. If you want to be in on the Responsible AI Insiders, want to be a baby tiger wrangler, come on over. Just find me. Let's be friends. And I'm in Slack too. I'm Noelle. You can find me. I mean,
we'll make sure Asta gets all your links and the link to your book. I'll definitely buy it the moment it's available. We'll make sure the whole CBB gets the email, which we've been real strict about email this year. You know, I'm so hardcore against spam. You know, I'm so hardcore against spam, but what that means is when we send an email, we get like an 80% open rate. Throw that out there. Where are you at? I won't say any brand names on this podcast, but where are you at, every competitor? Where's your 80% open rate, son?
All the time. All the time. I'm like, every time I see another like competitor, I won't say nothing, but I'm like, you just don't know. But at the end of the day, though, what makes a product is its base. I mean,
it's the people, and other companies don't get that, but you're like, and you know, I'm so glad that you're here, because it's like, yeah, they're real. What he's talking about is not just made up Matrix stuff. They exist.
Real, we're excited. We're builders. I mean, there's so many people in here that I don't know, but I feel like I know. Like that, I've talked. You know, we've talked in the Discord. Like, it's so cool, and a lot of us like learned how to build these systems on this platform. You know, it's really cool.
You're building these agents, right? They've never been built before. You guys are the pioneers. You should have your own communities, and you should have your own fan clubs, just like Noelle. You deserve everyone. And
all it takes is you just have to start it.
You just have to do it,
and then start teaching. Like, literally, you learn something from somebody today, you go teach it tomorrow, because there's always people behind you, and they're always looking for someone to reach back and just be like, come on.
100%. You nailed it, man. This has been. I forgot this was a podcast. This is more like just hanging out. You know, that's one thing. We do have some shout out to Miranda and some other authors we got. Yeah, shout out Greg. Are you gonna, when you put out this book, I don't know, is it going to be a hard copy, or is it going to be?
Yeah, it's on Amazon right now. Scaling Responsible AI.
It's on there right now. Player, we're gonna get this thing sent out like ASAP. We'll like totally send this out like tomorrow or something, then with the link on there, and I'll buy it tonight. But your next book better have a QR code on there. I think, you know, just to end things on just another, hopefully maybe the right person hears this, because we do have some authors. I believe that we're going to have a great chance this year. It's kind of happened, and I won't drop names, but I think that there's going to be a marriage between traditional marketing, from maybe your billboards to magazines to, you know, TV commercials. It's kind of already happening with your QR codes, and AI. And it's going to be meaningful. You know, it's one thing when I think about just on the TV channels, when I don't watch TV at all, period. But I'm in a place that has a TV in there, and I just notice, oh dang, there's a QR code on the screen right there. I'm sure it's not meaningful. It's going right to a landing page and they're going to maybe know how many clicks they got. But imagine they're able to let their voice be heard and they're able to collect that data. That will be a thing this year. And I
Yes.
think that there will
Are
be
you
people
familiar
like
with
you.
X-Ray, the X-Ray API on Amazon, on Fire TV?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Are you familiar with X-Ray, the X-Ray API?
No,
I mean,
no.
so like right now, and they, to your point exactly though, they don't know what they're doing. Like they can't
Right.
implement it because they're not marketers, but the technologists have implemented an API that allows you to tag things that are in the frame. So
Oh,
product
that's so
marketing.
good.
And at
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah,
bottom
yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah,
screen,
yeah. I
it'll
have
say,
seen this. Yes,
hey,
yes, yes.
do you like this dress? Click here. And Amazon already has our payment information,
Totally.
billions of our payment information. So all you have to do is click it and it send it to you. Perfume, you could like Sauvage, I think it was with Johnny Depp. And it's like, would you like us to send you a sample? Click on a remote and poof, I get sent. But we're not optimizing that for actual use. No
And
one knows that
you
it's there. No one knows how to use it, but the tech is there. So we
you know,
just
you
need
just
to.
like on so many different levels, you've hit everything so perfectly and concisely. But I'll tell you what you just really like the light bulb moment for me just went off. Guys, gals, it is up to us. Okay, we
It is up
can't
to
just sit
us.
around on our hands and be like, oh, I wonder when this will come out. This is a great
Yes.
idea I have, but what am I going to do with it? Do something. What she's been telling you the whole time, what I've been pushing, just do it, build it. If you don't make the video today, you're going to regret it tomorrow anyway. You got to do it. And man, that is what I think I'm going to take away from this. You just re-inspired me to do so much. This is the time to be the leader, to be the person that's never done something, that's never shown something. Even if you think a year later after doing the thing, it's not as valuable as it is, and some of that shine's worn off. Wake up, buddy, because it's gangster. It's awesome. And you need to show people what you can do. And you see one thing I'll end with here the whole time, and it's not been because of me. She's smiled the whole time. All I want to do is do business with her now. You know what I'm saying? Like that energy is something that is hard to turn on and turn off, but it's required. And that's what you also said. You got to kind of do both. You got to do it all. And now you have no excuses. And you're the perfect example of someone taking advantage of all the things. I love you. You're just awesome. You're
Thanks
freaking
for having
awesome.
me. Thanks for everyone showing up. This is so awesome. I mean, literally the highlight of my week. And I did some cool stuff this week, but this is the bomb.
Honored. Well, I feel totally honored on that one. You did bring the fan club. And look, we got Pernell. Where's he at? Lifelong learner. That's
That's
right,
it.
man. If you're not learning, you are losing. And you're definitely winning. Noelle, and thank you so much for the
Yes.
time.
Thanks for everything you're doing and all the matrix diving you're doing. Like, we are super excited for all the things every time it comes out. Every Friday, I'm waiting for
Awesome.
the drop.
Well, you've already got a request on here. They want you to do a Freestyle Fridays here, so we'll have to do something on that. That'll be a really fun thing is to do a dual, like a guest Freestyle Friday. We have to
What?
build something together, make
That's
it happen. You know what? We are Asta. I just figured it out. Making it happen in March. That's the theme. Making it
oh,
happen in
what?
March, baby, because that's all we're gonna do in March is make it happen. All right. Well, thank you, Noelle. I'm gonna pop you off the screen here, and CBB Nation. What's going on, guys? That was so much fun. It's been a minute. I know that I've been kind of here and there, but I've just seen everything. I've seen the future. The future is bright. The future is good. You're in the right place. So many of you are building the right things. This is the year that many of you are going to become very wealthy. I'm very, very certain of that. Some of you already are. Shout out to you guys. I haven't seen the Lambo pop up on my Facebook feed yet, but I also haven't been on Facebook basically all month. But I'm sure they're on the way. This is the time where we're gonna have fun. Going forward, this entire year is going to be moving very, very fast. I need you guys to understand Noelle is the perfect example of what you can be doing right now in this space of AI. You could be a real leader, make a real impact, and have a lot of fun. She didn't stop smiling the entire time, which made me smile a lot more than usual. I'm usually cranky with the AI, smacking it around, telling it it's stupid. The AI is just going to gang up on me one day. But with that, I thank you guys so much for hanging out. We'll probably do something fun tomorrow. I don't know if we'll be able to get Noelle back again so fast, but she'll definitely have to be another guest. And I think Freestyle Friday would be super fun. If you would like to be a guest and hang out with us, totally let us know. Let Austin know or send us an email, shoot me a message. I've been really bad about messages lately, but I will be better about that because we're going to make it happen in March. All right, guys, I'll see y'all later. Peace.